My name is Gabriela Santos, and now I'm going to discuss about vertical farming. As everybody knows, food is something essential for our life. It is something that we cannot choose if we want to do or not do, because if we not do it, we can die. We need it to gain energy and survive. Lack of food have been one of the biggest reasons for many wars. We have to solve this problem of food with some alternative of mechanism to produce food. Here there are some facts according FAO that we expect in 2050. And this picture we can show this information. There will be a population increase of 3 billion people to 9.5 billion. Currently, 50% of the population is living in the urban area, but to 2050 that number will jump to 80% of, people living in that area. Currently, 15% of suitable land have been lost for poor management of agricultural practice. There have been many improvements in the farming industry, like indoor farming and greenhouses that become very popular in the past century. The constant need for food combined with the lack of land to grow food has increased the need for scientists to come up with modern advances in the farming business. With the growing need for land and the growing population, scientists have come up with the idea of vertical farming. According to FAO, vertical farming is the new age of agriculture. They say that the sky is not limit for farming, and this is based in the production of crops or food in that are staked in layers that may reach several stories tall. It can be an alternative to produce food in the urban area. The soil is a resource that is running out, but the population continues to grow. For a future, vertical agriculture will be the most welcome alternative for the use of space that it can give. Not only will be recommendable in a future because many families are already adopting similar structure for planting crops in their house to their self consumption is a way to start with this new form of agriculture. Every day is going to increase its application and even can improve the mechanism using in this alternative. It's a far better way of producing crops and there are more benefits than conventional farming. Some professionals consider that is more efficient for some reasons, like all produce with this will be grown organically with no pesticide and insecticide because the environment is controlled the and will and in this structure we not have insect or garden pests that can attack our plants. Another benefit in that crop is the further protect crops that we have in this structure from the inclement weather and therefore the loss of crops for this reason for hurricane hail or drops uh, because the temperature within this vertical growing platform will be set at ambient temperature. Vertical farming also utilizes vacant urban property. It's in place like urban area where there is not enough land that will sustain such crop production. These high rises will account for all the land and more that will be required to produce such a vast amount of crops. But in the other hand, we have some disadvantage to consider. First is the cost. Cost factor being the major drawback. One cheaper solution can be found in the construction of these farm scrapers. Traditional farming may one day be forgotten. One of the main vertical farming disadvantages is the high cost associated with this idea. You all we know that the price of human land is higher than the farmland. The person who wants to use this idea must have the arrange big investment. Another thing that makes this idea unattractive for the farmer is the fact they that it is unable to grow the different variety of fruit and vegetable in the vertical farms. The reason is that there are only a few variety of vegetable and fruit that can be produced well in this controlled environment of farm. Due this disadvantage, the farmers still prefer the conventional agriculture, but for the problem that we are faces nowadays for the accelerated growing of population, this alternative in some day will become very popular, and we have to see the advantage, and now we have to seek the solution for this disadvantage and improve its mechanism.